Da da da. Wow, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Judy. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Hashem. As I begin.
Recording in progress.
As I begin my 50th revolution around the sun. Tonight. Pretty far out. Turning 49. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. I said to some chevra, I have a group of amazing young ones, 19 to 22-year-olds. We have a weekly chabura, and I said to the guys, like, turning 49, like I can't call myself a young rabbi anymore. They said, Ravis, you're the youngest guy we know. Oh, that's Hashem. Chaim. Really, it's out of this world. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Avshalom. Thank you, Judy, thank you. Thank you. I met you when I was 14. What is that, 35 years ago? It's been a chunk. Pretty incredible. I was a teenager, 8th, 9th grade. And what I say is that I was just like at the perfect time because my brain was like undeveloped. That's why they have rules about drinking alcohol. Not that we paid much attention. Chaim. And and I met Reb Shalom and I mutated Chia face. And Baruch Hashem, really the rest is history. Out of this world. Thank you, Hashem. It's unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. Wow. Half a century. That's when you turn 49. The 50th year means
completing your first half.
Does that mean like you have to turn 50 or like
when
you
turn 50, you will have completed 50.
Exactly, right. So I'm not yet halfway.
You're in the Shavuos of your years.
I'm in
49.
I'm in the 50th, right?
It's like that limit.
Going
49
into 50, right? It's pretty cool. During Sphira,
Sheva Shemitot Shleimot.
Right.
Sheva Shabbasos Mimos.
Yeah.
Sheva Shemitot.
7 years. Yeah, 7 times 7 years.
Timimos.
Yeah.
Sheva Shemitot Timimos. Sorry. Tongue twister.
So next year is going to be a jubilee.
Next year we're gonna have a big party. Next year. Wow. Incredible. Okay, so we are up to Perek Hey Pasuk Gimel. Vayomer la Hamelech. Remember the nusach?
It's your Yovel year. It's Yovel. Yovel year.
Yeah.
It's a jubilee.
Vayomer la Hamelech Malach Esther Malka Uma Bakashosei Chod Chotzi HaMalchus Einasein Lach Gematria 50 Einasein Lach Shalom. Wow, Shalom. Chaim. Ad Chatzi HaMalchus V'Einasein Lach. I'm giving you Lach. It's 50. Well,
Wish me luck.
yeah. From Jerusalem with Lach. Out of this world. Wow, Shalom. Yay. Wow. Kala's in the house. Oh, Hashem. We should be blessed. Chatzi HaMalchus means to be a Malka. Everyone who needs to meet their Malka should meet their Malka. Meet their Melech should meet their Melech. If you already met, you meet again. Chaim. So the king, right now, the king saw her standing there. What is b'chatzer?
Omedet
b'chatzer. So she's that the king, and Mamish. This is it. Now he's responding. Now we got to the pasuk of the response. The response. Baruch Hashem, Chevre, Hamelech responds, Chevre. That's the first thing. That's the most important thing. It's not only you're crying out in the dark. Melech responds. Melech responds. Incredible. Incredible. Malach Esther Malka. Malach. The word ma is all over the Megillah. The word ma. Ma is a very big deal. In Kabbalah, ma is a very, very big deal. The Zohar Kadosh is teaching us in Hakdama and various other places that we need to find a Shem Ma HaChadash, a new ma. Yeah, Chaim. It means. I think it's really the panemius, what they're talking about now in the world, in the self-help world, in the therapy world, of getting curious, being able to ask, like, what is this? What is it? To notice. That's the first step. To unblend. What's going on here, right? That's the beginning of everything. Malach, Esther Malka. It's the first thing the Melech does, is he gives you ma, right? I'm jumping straight into, it's because of L'chaim's. I usually start with Pshat. L'chaim, K'dyantiv. And Esther HaMalka. And he gives her Malchus, you're the queen. You're the queen. You're the queen. Ma bakashasech. What is your request? Ad chatzi HaMalchut. Till half of the very kingdom itself. V'nasein lach, it will be given to you. First of all, in the chat. Heilige Shlomo Alkabet says, Arevim alai diver b'mer ben Arama. Brings these mefarshim I never heard of before. There's a more famous Rabbi Yitzchak Arama. I don't know if they're related. I didn't get a chance to look it up. Rabbi Yitzchak Arama wrote the Sefer Akedas Yitzchak, which is like a classic, awesome parish on the Chumash. Maybe Rabbi Meir ben Arama is related. I don't know. And but I like what he said. He says, it's sweet to me. He said, Arevi Malai. He says, Reb Shlomo Alkabetz, Arevi Malai. What did he say? Anytime there's a hishtadlus, here we need it, we're learning it like, they have it in Yiddish, a shtadlan. Shtadlanut. My father, all of a sudden, wrote about this. The shtadlanim is people who would go to be, today we call it APAC. It's to people who would go make a difference with the poets or with the Trump or whoever, whatever they need to influence, right? And either it's because they need to get away from some kind of trouble. Livroach min hamazik, there's some trouble. So that's why he asks her two things. Malach Esther Malka, uma bakashatech. In Pshat, it's two different things. Malach is what's bothering you, like how can I take away the negative that's bothering you? Uma bakashatech is what are you asking for? Is what's the positive that you're trying to get to, right? Chaim. What's the positive? Yeah. Malach. Negad hashni amar ma bakashatech v'te'as. Hey. My new name?
I'm Zach.
Zach. Oh, Shalom. Nice to meet you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Fresh.
I'm on my way.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Take a look.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's how he's saying in Pshat. Also, the Malbim adds something to the Pshat as well, and the Malbim says, "Lach v'natein lach right? Why did it have to say lach to you? It's obvious he's talking to her, right? Is because not to everyone am I giving. If you're asking on behalf of someone else, I'm not necessarily promising half the malchus. Half the malchus for you, right? That's something we sometimes encounter. Friends will do anything for you, but if it's for some, when you ask about other things, like love dafka, Chaim. Whoa, this is going straight to my Baruch Hashem. Chaim,
Straight to your mochen.
straight to the mochen. Ooh, fein chazal. Good So, yeah. Okay.
Sheva Shmitot Tmimot.
Nice.
I love that.
You got it.
Is your Yovel?
Yeah.
Jubilee.
So we're ending the 50th year, Mamish. Started just turning 49, Mamish. Karega. Baruch Hashem. Pretty trippy. Oh man, another 70, B'ezras Hashem. B'ezras Hashem. For everybody, the Simcha. So like we said before, what's that?
A few more than 70.
Yeah. Meir Shmonim. Yitzchak Avinu lived 180. Yitzchak Avinu lived 180.
I'll talk to you then, Rabbi.
Chaim. See, Bila Hamavis Lanetzach. That's it. V'asa Kodesh Baruch Hu v'shachat Malach Hamavis. Achad Gadia. Right? Hashem's going to come, get rid of, kill the angel of death. Chaim. See, the phone agrees. So, like we said before, the Midrash Rabbah brings, every time it says Hamelech Stam, it's both Kodesh and Chol. It's talking both about Achashverosh and Melech Malchei Amlachim. That's what you can learn about davening from this. You can learn, if we have the courage to come into Hamelech, Hashem is going to respond this way. This is the paradigm. He's going to give you back your Ma. He's going to help you unblend and get present and notice. He's going to help you. Ma'alach Esther Malka. And he's going to say, you're the Malka. Give you back your dignity. And Hashem is going to Ad Chatzi HaMalchus. We're going to look deeply into this concept of half the Malchus, little by little. But first, Hamelech means Kodesh and Chol. So the Pshat also follows both Kodesh and Chol. In terms of Chol, Rashi brings from Chazal, Rashi on this pasuk, and he also brings the Shlomo Alkabetz from Megillah Daf Tezvav Amud Beis Amarava. What's Chatzi HaMalchus? Chatzi Lashon Chatzitza. Chatzitza. When you go to the mikvah, you're not allowed to have anything that comes between your flesh and the water. It's a chatzitza. Stop. What's that? Separates. It separates, right? So what's chotzetz? What is he saying? You can have, according to the Gemara, he's saying you can have anything except what would separate, what would chotzetz, what would cut my malchus, what would ruin my power. As much as he's like promising her everything, except anything, it's not that something's going to undermine my undiluted total power over the known world, which we're talking about from Mehodu Vad Kush, Me'ah Vesrim Sheva Vesrim Me'ah Medina. This is the known world. He was mamish, somebody who has like everything. It's like a 5-year-old. Like, sure, I'll give you, but you're giving back that toy in like a few minutes. Like, in other words, not something that's gonna mess with my total control. So what would mess with the control? I'll do anything within the malchus, but what's ad lo davar shechotzeitz b'malchus umayhu ze binyan beis hamikdash. Just don't ask me to build a beis hamikdash. That not. Maybe because it like cuts it. It kind of ruins the shlema, ruins the totality of the immersion in the mikveh. Yitachein. I mean, it has an extra tzaddik, but l'chorah. So the Rav is definitely darshaning this way. The Rav is definitely right. Actually, it's Rashi who says that. No, yeah, Rava. Rava says, "Lo davar shechotzeitz." Rashi, "Lo davar shechotzeitz." Malchus binyan habayis shehu be'emtza ha'olam. How is it chotzeitz? Because the Beis Hamikdash is like in the center of the world. it'll split my malchus, and it'll also ruin the whole centrality. Once you have a Beis Hamikdash, there's no more White House. Like it's a Beis Hamikdash, Zion. There's a real center. Yerushalayim, we're with you. And so that's according to the Achashverosh, the human Achashverosh. The human Achashverosh is saying, this is how I'm understanding it. He doesn't make this. I'm continuing with the sort of theme we went with last week, that you can darshan two meanings of the pasuk, one according to Achashverosh, the man, and one according to Hamelech. So Achashverosh, the man, is anything but this, because then you're messing with my total control. I'll make it really nice for you. Make it a really good exile. It will give you 15 hechsherim. There'll be aisles and aisles of types of herring. Okay? And then you can have your kiddush with, the sweet, the spicy, the everything in between. You know what I'm saying? There are stores like that. I've been to them. It's a lot of fun. I was dancing down the aisles. L'chaim. Should never be hard of herring. L'chaim. Chaim, Shalom. So that's what, and according to the more deeper pshat, is Chatzi HaMalchus, is he brings here at the beginning. That the king Chatzi HaMalchus, Efshe Shechashav, כי לפי שמנהג העמים להיות איש ואשתו שווים בכל אשר להם בבית וחוקים שווה. Right? It's a pretty interesting thing. The Shlomo says this like 500 years ago. That the way of the world is that the husband and wife split their properties exactly 50-50. Right? It's not always so clear throughout history, etc. But that's what he says. But when Esther came in, she didn't bring anything. She didn't bring, usually in the ksuba, you have in the dunya, you have stuff that she's bringing in from her family, etc. And she came in as an orphan. And she's marrying the king, who technically owns everything. So, and Esther Lohivia, and so he says that similar to Bathsheba, when Bathsheba came into David HaMelech at the end of his life, to ask about her ksuba, and keilu, like part of her ksuba. It's so interesting. I never saw this before. That it's as if it's written in her ksuba, her marriage document, that her son Shlomo would be king. Remember this? It's the beginning of Malachim Beis. So, because Adoniyahu was parading around that he's already going to be king, and David was and made a whole plan. Bathsheba with Nasan Hanavi, I think it was, and etc. So therefore he's promising her, no, even though you came in with nothing, right? But this is mamish, very to me. He doesn't say it, but it seems very to me transparent that this is talking about a higher reality. Because we come to Hashem, it's really all thing. What am I bringing into this marriage? Some jokes about herring and Chaim. And we say, but this is another thing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives. You really walk into his body that Hashem gives you. At Chatzi HaMalchus, you're like 50-50. It's unbelievable. 50-50. So anyways, but so this is this pasuk. Okay, I want to share with you something. First of all, that I heard 2 nights ago from Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson. He spoke. You can listen to it. He spoke at a conference called Kesher Nafshi, very special thing for parents. And he was saying the greatest gift you can give your kids is to forgive yourself. Amazing. I thought it was very wise. Right? the greatest gift you can give your kids is to forgive yourself. It's an amazing thing. So, this is for parents of kids who have gone in various wayward directions, etc. And the parents carry their guilt, and that does not make it easier for the kids, right? And he was speaking about this, and I want to first go to the Gemara that he quoted. This really blew my mind. The Gemara you probably heard once is Bava Metzia Samach Beis Amud Aleph. Shnayim Samahalchim Baderech. Two are walking on the way. Doesn't say the desert, but everyone always says it's the desert. Uviyad Echad Mehem Kiton Shamayim. Only one of them has a canteen, water. Do they call it canteen down under? What's it called?
I'm from South Africa.
Oh, South Africa. Excuse me. Yes. Confused with that. What's that? But what do they call a canteen?
Flask.
A flask. Love it. And one of them. Oh, Reb Tobi, welcome. Did I miss anybody else in the waiting room? Okay, Saul and Reb Tobi. So two are walking, and only one of them has a flask. If they both drink from it, they'll die. There's not enough. There's enough to make it to the end of the trail, right? Whatever. If one of them keeps it, then he can make it back to civilization. Daras ben Petora learned. Mutav sheyishtu shneim v'yamusu. They should both drink it and both die. That's ben Petora. The al yira echad mehem b'misasu shechavero. Don't let. It's worse to see a friend, my beloved Jew, die and chas v'shalom. So let's just both, like Romeo and Juliet, we'll both go, right? Very romantic and high and amazing, and also kind of sad. Ad sheba Rabbi Akiva limed v'chay achi chaymach chayecha koidmin chayecha verecha. Till Rabbi Akiva came and said, v'chay achi chaymach l'chaim. A friend should live, but with you. Chayecha kodmin l'chayecha verecha. Your life comes before your friend's life. Chayecha kodmin. Now this is amazing. So he brought from the Chidushei Arim, Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Meir, Alter, the first Ger Rebbe, Talmud of the Kotzker, Simchat Bunim, also very connected to the Ishbitzer. It's brought in the Sefer Dor Yesharim, which is a very geschmacka book about all the Ishbitzer Rebbes, from Simchat Bunim to a few generations after the Meshilach, including Rav Tzadok, and you have stories in there about them. And it says that one time, the Ishbitzer and the Chidushei Arim were learning together, and the Ishbitzer put his feet on the knees of Rabbi Chidushei Arim. They were close. And then talking, so he put his feet up, and then the Ishbitzer fell asleep. Now there was generations. The Ishbitzer was from the older generation. Maybe it was, 8 years older, 10 years old, whatever. Not that much older, but older. And Sefer says the Chidushei Arim had so much respect for the Ishbitzer, he wouldn't stand up until he woke up on his own. Sleeping. Waving everyone away, So the Chidushei Arim said on this, he noticed that it doesn't say, usually when there's an argument in the Gemara, you have one person says, another person says, here it's Darsh ben Petora, ad, until Rabbi Akiva came and said, what is this? Until Rabbi Akiva came and said, Chayechi chaymach. What's the until? He says, maybe there's a very interesting legal perspective over here. He says that Chaim. He says that everyone heard the ethical thing, of don't watch your friend die, and da-da-da. Everyone felt okay, but they all felt inside, all the Chachamim felt it was wrong. They felt there's something wrong with that. But they didn't want to argue because they couldn't argue on Ben Petora because but I'm going to say, like, you shouldn't, like, you should keep yourself alive and watch their friend die. Like, how could you say that? No one wanted to challenge him until Rabbi Kiva came and learned from this pasuk, and that's why the Gemara phrases it in this way. Like Rabbi Kiva cleared the air. Like, yes, chayecha kodmin. And the amazing thing is, Rabbi Kiva is the one who said, "V'avtecha amar Rabbi Kiva, v'avtecha kamocha ze klal gadol b'Torah." Right? Rabbi Kiva is the one who's teaching everybody about love. Right? Right? Chaim. Because the thing is that if you're not there, then there's no love. Right? You have to be there to be able to give love. You can only give something that you have. He was saying, like, we know this physically. If you have $100, you can give $100. If you don't have it, you can't give it, right? And the same thing is true spiritually. And we think that we have to be so strung out. He gave this example of like a kid coming in to their mother in the middle of the night, and she's in the kitchen, and kid sees the mother like enjoying herself, like having a nice sugar-free latte, and like feet up, like, Mom, everything okay? said he said the thing is that if you carry all your guilt about your kids and how you raised your kids all the time, and you just keep erasing yourself, and your message to your kid is that I don't count, you're the only person who counts, then you're actually teaching them not to respect their own selves. Amazing insight. Absolutely incredible thing. Absolutely incredible thing. Everyone says this, kamocha, like love your friend as you love yourself. So that means you can't really love your friend without loving yourself. It's an incredible thing. We have to actually have and then you can really give. And then you're really educating them in the most deepest way. You're giving them self-respect. It's mamish amazing. It's an incredible Torah. Chaim. So Chatzi Hamalchus, right? So we're talking about Chatzi Hamalchus, so deep. Why shouldn't, if he really loves me, give me the 100% of the Malchus, right? But this is actually the whole Yofi. It's Chatzi Hamalchus. It's Chatzi Hamalchus. It's not the whole thing. It's not the whole thing. I don't want the whole thing. I don't want the whole thing. It's not supposed to be like that. Don't do that. That's burdensome. Don't put the whole thing on me. Hey, right? Chaim. You want the otherness of the other. Levinas, otherness of the other. I want Hashem to be that other side. Chatzi shekel, I'm a chatzi shekel. Right? It says I once was zocher to do a wedding. It was Shmuel Stengi. Do you know? I don't remember him. I'm not sure if you know him. He was younger. He was in the Hebrew Academy. Anyway, Shmuel. And I'm trying to remember his wife's name. It's crazy. 1 second, I can't forget. I want to quote the wife's name. It was a chuppah in Montreal on Lag Baimer, and it said the following Torah about Hod Sheva Hod, right? Hod means to thank, but Hod also means Rezel, Shmuel and Rezel Stengi, and Hod also means to forfeit, like to admit, to give in, right?
Tonight's Hod.
What's that? Tonight's also, yeah. Nachon, mamish. And so I was saying that it's right, Moide Rabbi Shimon, right? That that Rabbi Shimon, with the Ketar Gavalt, we're going to jam. So that Maida Rabbi Shimon, the Psik Reisha, you know, Rabbi Shimon has a famous argument in Shabbos about Psik Reisha. Won't get into details, but he's Maida. In that case, meaning he admits, right? So Hod Shebehod, what does that mean? So in a marriage, it's level one is, yes, dear, as you say, to just give in, right? But Hod Shebehod is to argue. Because you don't want, this is one of the things that like my Rosh Hashanah once told me. It's really amazing marriage advice. And it continues to be. And Hashem, I still have to learn it. Is he says, when your wife says or your husband says, what can I make you for dinner? Right? Don't say whatever you make is good, dear. Don't say that. It seems like that's the tzaddik thing to say. Right? Just erase yourself. Don't say that to your spouse. Tell them exactly what you like and how you like it. You're given the opportunity to connect. Shlomo said similarly about the whole Sefer Vayikra. The whole Sefer Vayikra is Hashem saying, here's how I like my korbanos. Like this, with this song, this thing, this time, and it's very specific. Hashem put a lot of rules.
I want you to burn it every night. I want to come home and it's burnt every night. Completely burnt. That's how I want it.
The burnt offering. My wife loves you so much, she gives you a burnt offering every night.
In the morning I want it completely burnt, and in the nighttime I want it completely burnt. No questions asked. That's how I want it.
Wow, this stuff is mamish. Like this one little shot is
I feel like they
mamish.
just took cough syrup from the United States and put it in a bottle. I feel like they just rebranded cough syrup in a glass bottle.
Woo!
It's like
Diamond Tap.
Children's Benadryl. I like that children's Benadryl flavor. Non-drowsy.
Hi.
But when you said to argue, when someone kind of says, actually no, you just feel so much closer to them when they're honest with you.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for telling me.
Exactly. Like Hod Shebehod. And it's there because there's the admitting within the admitting. First I need to get past the shell of really listening. So I have to have a Hod. I have to really hear you. But then I also have to hear myself. And get in a true dynamic, right? Yeah. Hod is also Lashon head, which is an echo, if I remember right. Lahad head is to echo, I think. Yeah. So Guvalt. So now we're going to dive into the Kut Halachos a little bit. Rabbeinu. Okay, first just a little something that is from outer space, because it's poor. This is Rabbi Nachman Torah Pei Test, Torah 89, Likutei Moharan. There's a song, by the way, Shivi Keller, Atvatechasreo Me'at Me'elokim, V'chavod V'adarta Treu, you know? The song? Oh my God. It's the Bat Ayin, it's an old, anyway, they have a gorgeous song in it. They made a song of the entire words of this Torah. It's a little short Torah. The pasuk is "V'techasreu me'at me'elokim v'chavod v'adarta treu." It's a pasuk from Tehillim. Why don't they say where in Tehillim? It's funny. Okay, I guess it's from the same. It's from Kuf Mem Zayin. I think. The Hashem made us a little less than Elokim. Me'at, right? The Gemara darshans this about Moshe Rabbeinu. That Moshe did not get the 50th gate of Bina. Right? Talking about the 50th, right? I'm entering my 50th year right now. Pretty far out. Okay, but I guess I'm staying 49. Is that the Chasrei Umad? Forever 49. I'm just turning 49. Forever 48, whatever. Okay. So the 50. So any case, there's 50 Sharei Bina, and it's mashma sounds from the Gemara in Shabbos. on this that you can't reach the 50th gate because, like the Rambam says, ilu yedativ heyitiv. If I would know God to that extent, I would be God. There has to be something that you, so that we remain human, right? So that's what the pasuk is talking about in according to the Gemara. But the pasuk ends v'chavod v'adar te'atreu, crowns us. We're going to learn that on Shavuos, according to the Arizal, a crown is coming down. Malach Esther Hamalka. Hashem gives us back our ma, our curiosity, our presence, our noticing. Hashem ma hachadash. Ma gematria Adam gives us back our humanity. Ma is when you spell Yud Kevavke, Yud Vav Dalet, Hey Aleph, Vav Aleph Vav, Hey Aleph. The Yud Kevavke with Alephs and beginnings, starting, learning. Aleph is a lashon for learn, like ulpan, to learn, to be learning, right? And so Hashem is giving us on Shavuos, Mamish, this pasuk of Chatzi Malchus, it's Mamish Shavuos. This pasuk of where we go into the king, we're like on Har Sinai, and the Melech is telling you, you're my Malka, right? Ma'alach Esther HaMalka. The Torah is all Ma. Where do we see that the Torah is all called Ma? Rabbi Nachman brings it in Torah Nun Vav, that we'll also look at a little bit later. The Torah is called Ma. The Torah is called Ma. Also pasuk in Megillah, Ma Ye'aseba, Ma. Because the question of the Chacham, Ma ha'edas v'chukim v'mishpatim shatziva Hashem Elokeinu eschem, Ma. The whole Torah is Ma. That's what the Rebbe says. Malach, I'm giving you the Torah. Esther HaMalka. Ma v'chashaseich al chatzia malchus v'seas. This Torah 49 is like, okay, buckle up, Chevra. This is Hine Yadua. Ki kol ma shechasar la'adam. Everything that's lacking to a person, hen beruchani, hen begashmi, be it spiritual, be it physical, hachisaron hu b'hashchina. If we feel a lack, it means there's a lack in the Shekhinah, there's a lack in Shemayim. Shehu b'chinas Elokim, that's the aspect of Elokim, Hashem. V'zeu v'techasreihu b'vadai me'at me'elokim. If I'm experiencing a lack, right? Anyone ever? I don't have to even ask that question. Hey, anyone here ever experienced lack? Oh, me too. Gewalt. So you have to know. Bivadai, says the Rebbe. Me'at me'elokim. Hainu hachisaron bivadai me'elokim. This is also a lessening and a lacking, a me'at, in Elokim. Hainu b'shchina. That there's this lack even for Hashem is experiencing a lack. This is really far out Torah. Ach sheyedazot. But when that hits me, that even Hashem has some kind of lack, shachisaron hu lamala ulamata. At least, like, I want it to be okay upstairs. I mean, it's not okay there either. You're also crying. Hello? Is there anybody out there? Tell me, can you hear me? V'vadai yelot tsar gadol v'atzva. So the person can fall into great pain and sadness, despair, sadness. V'lo yuchal avodah Hashem yitbarach b'simcha. How are you gonna have pep in your step to, like, go, to go daven shacharis and light Shabbos candles, put on tefillin, like everything's all like it's not only in my head, it's falling apart. Also, the sky is falling. I say what we're saying, right? Very far out. So the pasuk is telling you, David HaMelech is telling you how you need to answer yourself when you notice this, when you experience this. It's quite something. This is like really far out. Chaim. Kapur. Here's how you should answer to yourself. Thank you. Ma ani u'ma chayai ma. I won't get into it now, but simple it means, What am I and what is my life? Ki hamelech be'atzmo mesaper li hachisaron shelo. That the king himself is telling me about his lack. And notice what he just did here. This is such a nafochu. What does the lack matter anymore if I'm with him in it, right? It's really, really beyond. V'chiyesh kavod gadol mizeh. Is there any greater honor than that? Mitoch kach bala simcha gdola. There's a nafochu. And through that, you come to great joy. Okay, we're in the sewer, me and Hashem. So let's dance, Chaim, Judy. So that, right? V'nitchadesh hamochin shelo, and your consciousness gets renewed, right? Unbelievable. V'zeu, that's the end of the pasuk. V'chavod v'hadar teatrehu. The honor and beauty, I'm crowned. He is crowned. Hainu ayidei kavod v'hadar sheyesh lo. Through the fact that I feel so honored, right? I don't know if anybody remembers, we're not worthy.
Yeah.
Not worthy. No. This is was that Bill and Ted or is
Wayne's
World? Right, that's you. Yeah, I made that mistake already once. But I need a little more l'chaim, even though I'm totally almost delirious.
Yeah, that'll help the memory.
Next time I'll remember Wayne's World. This is Simon, but I have to make that one. I should have at least remembered the last year when he knows the event exactly. Chaim.
What's really happening here? Is this like it's like someone's rich, successful friend, like opening up and being like, I have problems too, and then it's like, whoa, like if you have problems, like we're all screwed. You're rich and we're not, and if that can't solve problems. It's like we always have to like feel like there's someone out there who like really made it. They're really above the suffering of the world. And Hashem's like, I'm also Bitzar. The Shlomo is also Bitzar.
Yes.
And then it's like, that's the deepest intimacy. Is like, whoa, like the king, like the being you thought had everything is also there's a brokenness to it.
Mamish kacha. Ayidei akavod v'hadar. But I'm so honored. I'm so not worthy for the king himself to tell me, right, that he's also only a chatzi, right? Why is he telling you you're gonna have the chatzi? Because he's also a chatzi. We're both in a state of being a half, right? Out of this world. Teatrehu, and through that, teatrehu. And that there's a keser coming down for each of us in a few days. Shavuos is coming. There is a new crown coming for your soul. This is real. It's amazing. Metziut, chevre. Keter itnu lecha. Teatrehu. This crowning that's coming down with new consciousness. Moichin chadashim. So Chaim. So the thing is, right? New malchus, a new keser. Al yedei kavod v'hadar sheyesh lo, shemelech b'atzmo mesaper lo hachisaron. Tatreu b'moichin chadashim. There's a medrash Tehillim called wow, my brain. Chaim. So this becomes a Chaim.
I'll bring sake next time. It's half the alcohol.
What's it called again? The Midrash on the Tillim. Remember? It's any case. It's also just called Midrash Tillim, but it has a name. To Tehillim Aleph. Right in the first parak, it's long. The first parak is like a few pages long. Of midrashim, really amazing midrash. If you want to really learn a nice midrash, buy Midrash Tillim and just go through it. It's Hebrew, it's not so hard, and it's wild stuff in there. It's totally incredible. It's mamish like a Sefer Chassidus. And I have to remember what it's called. 1 second. What's the other name? What is? Let's see if they're gonna know. Tillim called. Midrash Shaychatayv, unbelievable. Thank you, Gemini. So man, the best. Midrash Shaychatayv, highly recommended. And he brings in there, it says in there, a similar question and then a totally different answer. That the angels are also the angels that represent all the different nations of the world, came to Hashem when he was about to split the sea. And he said, listen, it's not fair. Halalu of the Avodah Zarah, halalu of the Avodah Zarah. Remember this? These are idol worship. The Jews are just as bad idols. Why are you splitting the sea for them? So, the Medrash Tillim, it gives a different answer than the classic Medrash. Medrash Tillim says, Hashem says, okay, fine, you're right. So let's do a deal like this. Each nation with their God will go down to hell. That's like, what? That's the answer. So Hashem says, I'll go to hell with them, right? Start out of this world. Kol Uma im Elokea Yired L'Gehinnom. It's totally wild. So it's like, this is right? The underworld of Mario.
Yeah, we were playing Mario before.
Oh, God. You actually were playing?
No, we're playing the music from.
Oh. So this is this place of once, because the idea here once again, and this is an amazing thing about closeness. This is the magic of real relationship. Is that what does it mean for things to be good or to have a lack? You know, it's so amazing. Like it's same thing. Like people they could have everything, but there's a story like this in Through Fire and Water. Rav Chaim Kramer brings a story like this with Reb Nosson, with one of the wealthy Jews, one of the wealthy, super successful Jews in Uman. There were some very wealthy Jews in Uman that Rabbi Nachman was very connected to. This one was the names. Not Dover, not in any case, this was one of them. And Reb Nosson started describing to him. He said, you could come back from a business trip having made 10,000 whatever rubles, which is like whatever, $50 million. And you come home and you're all excited. And but your wife gets upset that you're half an hour late. And the whole thing's not worth it. And you begin to even question, what am I even doing in this world, right? Because the relationship is everything. The relationship is everything. Like it's mamish. Like you could have like what? It's like you could have everything, or you could have nothing. The Gemara describes Rabbi Akiva and the Darim. Rabbi Akiva with Rachel. Remember this? Rachel, the daughter of Kalba Savua, the richest Jew in Israel. And when she married the farmhand, whose name was not Rebbe yet, but just Akiva, so he wrote him out. He's made a neder that he can't have any of his wealth, and nor shall his daughter. And they were sleeping in a barn. And he was pulling out straw from her hair. And he said to her, one day I'm going to get you a Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. That's where the term Yerushalayim Shel Zahav comes from. They used to, back then, the Tanoim, in those days, they used to have, I'll bet you can still find one today. I'm sure somebody thought of that. What do you call it? Like, there's a tiara. Yes. A tiara with like a little mini Yerushalayim on it. And he did eventually get her one. Later, but you see, they in their barn with nothing, they had everything. The Mamish had everything. And that's Mamish, it's unbelievable. Rabbi Nachman tells us this, that's us and Hashem. Totally out of this world. It's very, very Purim, because Purim is exactly that. Ad lo yada means to the point where you can't distinguish between exile and redemption. Because I'm with Hashem either way, even within the darkness. We're sharing in the pain, but we're sharing, so there's no more pain. Totally incredible. I mean, there is pain, but it's not pain. It's like totally off the charts. Oh, Chaim. Yeah, right. So here we have to be careful with this, right? Because I think the Pashat Pshat in that thing is cynical. Yeah, is right, is to pull someone down, right? Here we're talking about sharing. sharing, right? And holding each other's pain, right? That's a different thing, very different thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a little bit more, maybe a lot more. Where are we? Hi. It's my birthday. Okay. Hi. Wow. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Reb Nosson in Pikod and Dalet. Not Pikod and Dalet, talking about Sphira and Shavuos. Sphira and Shavuos, two different spiritual energies that grow into each other. It grows into the Sphira, grows into Shavuos, right? That's why we have this incredible thing that you have a name. The name of the day is weeks. Very strange. I must have spoken about this once. The name of the day is weeks. Very strange thing. Like, you don't call like the day that you get married like months or like years. Like until I got here. You don't name it after that. Like it's it's but you could see, but you can understand a little bit like the idea of doing that. That because in a certain way the weight adds deep energy to the actual day of the thing itself, of the connectivity itself, right? Shavuos, so amazing. It's like this named after them because, right, these weeks they represent. Reb Nosson writes in Pikod Dal, they represent all of time. They represent like forever. 7 times 7, like 49, forever. He says that it represents like forever, and Shavuos in that sense is like the day after forever. It's like, oh my God, I waited forever, right? Kala's on the couch, right? He waited forever. And then it still happens. There's a day after forever. It's incredible. Everyone should get koach. It really does happen. I was
First day of the rest of your life.
The first day, yeah. It's the first of the 8th week, which is it's so deep. Last night it was a zocha to officiate a wedding last night. Also, Leah Rosenzweig. Oh my gosh, Leah Rosenzweig. She also waited forever, and she said from the chuppah. He said, "I want to say." She took the microphone at the chuppah. Said, "I want to say that for Menachem, it was worth the wait. It was amazing. Like in front of like hundreds of people. It's like it was so amazing. Oh, you just cry. Chaim l'chaim. Hashem, it's worth the wait. Hashem. Chaim. So yeah. I hope I'm not missing anyone on there. Yeah. Okay, so Reb Nosson is saying there's these two things. There's counting the days, and then there's Shavuos, right? Also, while you're counting, there's one energy called counting. I'll explain it in a minute. And there's another thing as you're doing energy number 1 called counting. Energy number 2 is building, which is another thing called waiting. Because you're also waiting, right? On one hand, your mamish seizing the day of each day, and you're making the most of each day, right? That's what the Inyan of Sphira is, Reb Nosson writes, that the simplest idea of Sphira Ta'omer is that that each day I have a finite amount of time in this world, and each day comes and then it's gone forever, right? And to make each day really live each day, really live. It is amazing that we're here. It's amazing. It's amazing to have hands too. It's amazing. It's amazing to be here. It's totally amazing.
And in your process of trying to live fully, some of your greatest hindrances will be your past,
yes,
and the future that you're focusing on, trying to be present in your life, in this moment, in this day.
So the vote of counting is to kind of cut out and not get burdened in the past, or the fears of the future, or what exactly. Mamish writes about this in Pikod Dal Ein Sham. I don't want to talk for too long. It's in there. Mamish speaks about that thing exactly. That today, hayom la'asotam. Chazal say hayom. Im la'achshav matai. This is a sphira. Make it count. Seize the day. Carpe diem. right? This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. And there's, as you're, gung ho and psyched and going for it and making each day count and counting it. And by the way, now when Hashem gives the Torah, because after that, so when I'm a person who, he also talks about like not procrastinating. Well, she doesn't use obviously the word, but he's like not to put off for tomorrow, because he says like what I need to do today is related to the specialness of today. Time, we have to not let the Industrial Revolution suck the specialness out of time. Time is not a uniform thing. It's not just like a computer screen with like a diagram on it. Time is special. Each day is an energy. It's a life energy. It's mamish, a whole thing. Time is special. And when there's something that's like I'm being called on to do today, so I have to do it today, right? Very, very deep thing. Tomorrow, if I say I'm going to do it tomorrow, so obviously, sometimes you can't do everything today, and sometimes you have to do. But again, with seichel, right? But that if I put things that I really should do today for tomorrow, it's going to interfere with tomorrow. Tomorrow is a different day. It's not just all just part of, just what's the word I always like to use? Chaim. I forgot. Like when you make what's that? Yeah.
I said expanse. It's just like one.
Yeah, it's just like
expanse.
It's yeah, exactly. So
It's expansive.
So when I live like that, and then Hashem gives the Torah, then I take it really seriously. I can really live. I can really connect to the Torah each day. It's like I'm primed for Torah, right? There's also at the same time a second energy that's building all along. A second energy called waiting, that's being built. I have to have patience also, right? Because man, how does it go? Man tracht and Gott lacht, right? We think and we plan, right?
There's lach again.
And then lach, right? Yes, exactly. From Yerushalayim with lach is
Lach in his gazette.
right.
You're saying the second energy is waiting, is the first energy time?
The first energy is doing, grabbing, is making each day count. The first energy is right, not putting off for tomorrow, is taking time seriously, right? Shlomo, you want to say something?
There's a story. What was the Rebbe that they used to tell jokes? I know I'm hearing myself out, but the Rimmer?
Could be remembered, but you're probably thinking of no, my gosh,
My Purim
the
I don't remember.
the Rupsits. Yeah,
I should know, but
it's okay.
I know
I
he's
know yeah.
there was this guy Leibish
Oh.
whose wife was very sick, and in his mind, he had already made up that he's gonna marry someone else when she's gone.
Never.
And
Okay.
and his
Leibish
wife
did
was
that? Bad Leibish. Yeah.
His wife was harassing him that he should go to the Rebbe. He didn't really want to go, but at some point he had no choice, and he went to the kvittel, and he went. Anyway, so the Rebbe, he gave the kvittel, and the Rebbe told him, "Rabbis machshuvas b'leivish." But Hashem, but Eivish wants he's sick him. She should get up. She's gonna get up.
She's get better from. She get better.
She's going to get up.
Hysterical.
Wow.
I by the way, I heard from a friend of mine in Montreal once. It's late at night. Everyone here should have this problem. It's late at night and the baby's crying, right? It's late at night, the baby's crying, and the husband is thinking about getting up. Rabbas machshavos v'lev ish. Batas Hashem hitaku. It's okay, Chaim. So That's it. We can't just keep thinking about, gewalt. So there's one energy I have to grab and do and achieve, push, right? And there's no other time but now, right? And there's also Gott lacht. Ha ha ha. The thing didn't work, whatever it is. And we have to have Bezos Hashem Seichel to recognize when it's not working and stop. And just have patience. It's okay, eventually it'll work out. One day it'll work out, right? And it turns into a different energy. It comes into a different energy. So it's really two different things that we're working on throughout Sphira. The more dominant one is actually physically counting. We're doing the mitzvah of counting each day, that it should count, to recognize that my days are numbered. I only have so much time in this world. I want to achieve. And as I'm doing it, I'm also building it's like an undertow energy, a second thing. The waves come in, and the undertow is waves going the other way, right? You ever notice that? When they're like little waves, they're starting to go the other way. There's another energy that I have to in order to be able to achieve, and in order to be able to stay in the game also. And the world is very disappointing, and Rav Nosson writes the way only he can about how disappointing it can be. I'm not going to read the words now because it's take a little to, but how unbelievably disappointing life can be, right? But there's a waiting that happens. There's a trusting throughout this, right? That's also being built as I'm having this forever of count. On the one hand, I'm counting each day, I'm doing and I'm counting and I'm doing, but it's also kind of taking forever, watching the clock. Did math class ever end in 10th grade? It's still there. It's just like, so now he says, this is the aspect of the first Geula Chaim. Good to see you. Is Geula Rishona and Geula Achrona. I'm going pretty long here. This year is never going to end. Geula Rishona and Geula Achrona is there's something really interesting. The Yetzias Mitzrayim is like a very fascinating thing. This idea that Chazal called Geula Rishona. It's not just like a binary of redemption or slavery, because we got out, but it wasn't full Geula. This is why Moshe Rabbeinu, so the Rashi says, Medrash says, Gemara says, that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to Shomalech. That Moshe Rabbeinu did not want to lead the Exodus. Shlach Nabi Ati Shlach is not just Aaron. Shlach na send Mashiach already. Who's the first person that said we want Mashiach now? It said Moshe Rabbeinu. It said some done, but then he acceded to the plan that he's going to be the Goel Rishon. There's Geula Rishona, where the Egyptians are still running after us, right? Chol HaMoed Pesach is very different than Chol HaMoed Sukkos, right? Chol HaMoed Sukkos, we have a whole Hallel every day, parties. Chol HaMoed Pesach, we're still a little Erev Pesach kind of carried in, we're still a little OCD even after weekly now. Chol HaMoed Pesach is different. It's a Chatzi Hallel. We're grabbing what we can. It's like half. It's very precious. We have to grab the half, the partial successes. We have to celebrate the partial successes. That's the beginning. That's the only way. It's actually mamish the only way. Rabbi Nachman said that the only way to really make it through your hisbodedus, to have a real life of talking to Hashem, is being okay with half words, with just sounds, animal noises. Mamish. Really. Very serious. Just like, we have to do that sometimes. And that's the Chatzi Hallel. I can't even say a whole Hallel. Right? I'm out, but I'm not out. The Egyptians were still running after us during Chol HaMoed, right? Chaim. And it's this time of chipazon. Rushing, right? Rushing. the one hand, Gewalt, we're leaving Egypt. On the other hand, rushing is like not so geschmack, especially when it's families. You ever rushed with your family? You know what I mean?
The second view comes came out slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, mamish. So he brings all these psukim. I see exactly. So the first geula is chipazon, and we eat matzah, which is also, if you've ever been to a matzah factory, it's a place of chipazon. It's a whole running around, Shem mitzvah, like pouring the water, 18 minutes, it's a big clock going, counting down, and you're like rushing, putting it in the oven. If there's something falls off, okay, put it in the garbage, good, start again, like, everyone's like, it's a very intense environment. It's not chill. Matzah factories are not a place to like chill out, It's in the very and that's good. That's good. That's a gula rishona. That's this thing of the counting, how to make today. Hello, we're making matzah. Hey, wake up! It's now. I'm alive now. Who knows about tomorrow? I got to do the mitzvahs that I can today. There's what to do. There's chipadon, right? It's really important. But it's not the gula achrona. It's a gula rishona, right? Chipazon. Zebchin is vizus. Yitzvichen is darez me'od. Got to be. Zvizim. Got to be like diligent and intense, Bavodas Hashem. Zvizas gadov lo litchot mim lechavero, not to leave over from one day to the next. Chas v'shalom. Zebchinas firas ha'omer. That's the aspect of counting the omer, like we said. Today, to do today. V'alkei me'az matchilim teichef lispor mem tasim asfira. And so that's why even on Pesach itself we're counting from the second day, right? From the day after Seder. Svartim lachem echas Shabbos, shetil sator mitzvah b'machas Shabbos, revision to Pesach nikras Shabbos. We're bringing into ourselves that consciousness of Pesach, which is at essence zrizos, quickness, right? There's a lot of practicing, a lot of energy, a lot of think for a musician, Play your scales, you play again, right? Chaim. Chipazon. Aval Shavuos, Shu Kabbalas HaTorah. Shavuos is just coming. Hu beginas Gula Achroina. That's the aspect of the final Gula. Shenemar Ba in Yeshaya Hanavi.
Shavuos?
Yeah.
Not Sukkot.
Shavuos. Shavuos is the aspect of Gula Achroina. The final Geula. Shenemar ba, and this is a pasuk in Yeshaya, I think it's Perek Nun Bet. Ki lo b'chipazon teitzeyu. Mamish, the opposite of chipazon. It's not going to be chipazon. There's going to be no rushing. The Mashiach is like, oh, great. Let's slowly go greet Mashiach. It's a whole different thing, right? It's not going to feel like Friday anymore. Like every day feels like Friday. It's going to be, Whoa, lo b'chipazon? Kidding me? Is that Jewish? To slow down? One second. Jewish?
I feel like Shavuos is the only holiday we actually don't enter the chipazon because we have to wait until it's totally dark.
Nachon also, we need Tmimus, right? That's right. Can't have in Ma'ariv Shavuos night until it's completely black, till the stars are out.
Slow down. You can't make an early Shavuos.
Can't make an early Shavuos.
Yeah.
Interesting Shaila, can you make an early Shabbos this week when it's Yantif? Interesting Shaila. The fisher of the anyways, okay. Chaim.
Shabbason, is that Shavuos also? Is that Shabbos?
Yeah, I don't think it's called. Yeah. So Shavuos, Kabbalah Torah, Gula Achroina, right? It's always like that. The master, I'm thinking Yoda. Let me show you how to use the force. It's always like slow. The real masters, you know what I'm talking about? And it's true also with tzaddikim, the big tzaddikim. You walk in, it's like, it's just so slow, right? Shavuos u Kabbalas HaTorah. Gula achraina. Lo b'chipazon tetzeu, uvemenusa lo teilechun. You're not going to be fleeing. I mean, nothing to run away from. Nothing to run away from. Okay, Mavin, and that's what's the food is chametz. It's a korban toda, which many of the farshim say korban toda has both matzah and chametz. It relates to Pesach and Shavuos on a personal level, but the only communal korban, the only korban tzibur that has chametz in it ever is Shavuos. The shtei halechem, the lechem hapanim, the showbread is matzah. Did you know that? It has to be thick, but it's matzah. Every Shabbos, the bread in the Beis Hamikdash was matzah. It had to be baked before 18 minutes. The only time, chametz te'afena. Chametz. Slow. It's a whole different thing. Like, right? You know, you walk into the bakery, you walk into the Beis Hamikdash where they're baking the shtei halechem for Shavuos, and like, shh, come, sit. We're waiting for the bread to rise. We're just, whole different thing. It's not a matzah factory. Whole different thing. Whole different thing. Right? And this, Rav Nosson says, is related to the mitzvah, he says it earlier, of Hagbala Sahar, which is today, the Gimel Sivan, and my birthday, is the day that they made a gavul around the mountain. Right? This is my issue. Respecting boundaries, like not talking for too long. Fine. But not to run up the mountain. Not to run up the mountain. Right? What does that mean? Reb Leibla Eger. Reb Leibla Eger is the grandson of Rabbi Kiva Eger. His father, Reb Shlomo Eger, was very upset when Rabbi Kiva Eger became a chassid. He went and became a chassid of the Kotzker. He was with that whole chevra, the Chidusharim and Ishbitzer and all of them. You can go. I think he was after. He wasn't with them in Pshisk. He was in Kotsk. I've never been to Kotsk. I think he actually went to Kotsk. But just so you know, you can go to Pshisk and the shul where all those rebbes were Simcha Bunim and the Kotzker and the Ishbitzer and the Chidusharim and Rav Yitzchak Vorka, all those rebbes where they were, the Alexander is still standing. It's in ruins, but you can still feel the grandeur of the shul. It was built by a very amazing and powerful lady named Temeril. Temeril is like a endearing term for Tamar. Temeril of, I think, Krakow, where she was. Her husband owned the business, but she, quote unquote, wore the pants. She was like the head of the household. She was like a malchus, like a queen of a lady, and she personally funded and brought Chassidus to Poland. Totally incredible. If you go into that shul, you can still feel the grandeur. You can see some of the carvings and it's tall ceilings and like beautiful. Even though it's like falling apart, you can still see the windows and the what do you call markings? There's a fancy word for that. Moldings, yes, that kind of thing. Like just the way, more than just moldings, like you have like between the wall and the ceiling, like all these like things, like gorgeous, like what's the word? Magnificent, And anyway, Bleib Leger was in Kotsk. Bleib Leger was after that. He was in Kotsk, and he says in Torah Emes, it's a really good Sefer Chassidus. I highly recommend. It's underlearned. Get it. Torah Emes. It's easy. It's not such a hard Sefer. He says in Torah Emes that Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai, there's all these psukim about the cloud, the thickness of the cloud, the darkness of the cloud that he experienced on top. Like, what was it like? You have all these images of fog and dark and thick and cloud. And it's in Parshas Yisro, Sefer Torah Emes from Rav Leibla. So, yeah, Arafel, yes, Asher Sham Elokim. So So Blavlet says, why all these imageries of like cloudy and dark? Why not have like images of like bright and light? Moshe walked into the light, you know? We have like in the movies when there's like revelation, like they walk into this light or a garden or something. But like the imagery in Chumash is like thick and dark and so Blavlet says so beautiful. He says so beautiful. You'll love this. He says L'chaim, he says, it's because Moshe Rabbeinu was the humblest person, right? Why did everybody have to have a hakbala, have to have this limit around the mountain and not go up? Is because if they would go up, people weren't humble enough, they'll think they already know God. They think they already have it figured out. They'll lose the they'll lose that curiosity, right? Hashem gives you the curiosity, but if you run up, you have to know how. This is where the waiting moves into a different thing, right? You don't just fill in what you already know. When you're learning Torah, have to ask questions. Feel how what you're learning is telling you something you didn't know yet. It's very hard. We want to already know it. It's like our first tendency. We want to be secure. We want to have it figured out already. But then there's no Matan Torah if that happens, right? This is the whole yofi of learning Torah. Is the questions, is the ma lach Esther Hamalka, right? That's what Hashem gives us when we really engage and come to. He says, He gives us the chatzi hamalchus, not the whole thing. The Ishbitzer says, Anoichi is ke ani. That's the Ishbitzer. Meshilach, Parshas Yisro. I'm something like this. And that's the most beautiful thing in the world, because you can't just say the whole thing of who you are all at once. It doesn't, it's so beautiful. And it doesn't mean, in other words, this is the seeing and hearing together, right? Seeing is something you hear, you see the whole thing, you see the whole picture. Hearing is sequential, right? What does it mean we heard the sounds, that we heard the sights and saw the sounds, right? What it says in the Chumash, it says, because it means we were able to have that sense of total connectivity and sequential unknown at the same time. It's not like only partial. It is Hamamis Hashem, and there's more, right? That takes humility to have that. That's why it says the Leibler Eger, Moshe was so humble. All these imageries are like physicalized, like pictures of Moses' humility. That he was able to be up, hearing it straight from Hashem and still feel like, but I have no idea. I don't know. He was able to hold on to the not knowing. Right? Ad to lo yada. Right? That's the whole thing. Right? That's what it means to really receive the Torah. It's so deep. It's like, because otherwise, if you just come down knowing it, then it ended. Then there's no journey. It's just over, So this is we who didn't have that degree of humility had to stay down and recognize that we don't. Moshe was up there and he was getting it, but he was so humble that he experienced it as clouds and thick and dark, and I still don't know, right? So deep, so deep. This is what we need to be with each other, with our spouses, with our children, with our parents, can you not know? It's so deep. And no, but right? Really. It's mamish. And that not knowing is a graduation of waiting. The waiting, this is the waiting becoming your crown. This is the keser, because Rabbi Nachman brings from Iyov, from the book of Job. Iyov. I'll just tell you which parak it is. Where does he bring it? Katar li ze'ir hamtein. Iyov chapter 36. Iyov lamed vav. Katar li ze'ir v'achaveka. I'll wait a little bit and I'll explain to you. Katar is a verb. The kaf, saf, resh, keser. That word for crown means wait. Meaning the royalty of being the Malka, of being Hashem's Malka, what comes out, this undertow of all of our seizings of the days, within, and the reason why we name the day after all of these Shavuos, this day that's called weeks, is because now that waiting, we've become little Yodas. We're able to be really slow and actually listen to the Torah. We know how to wait. We know how to hear things sequentially, hear the whole thing. And that's also by Purim, to hear the whole Megillah, every word, to listen, right? So hard to listen. And so much could be solved from just listening. We want to solve it. My wife comes and tells me stuff. She reminded me the other day, she's like, it would have been so much better if you would have just listened and just repeated back so I could hear that you really listened and just not offered any advice at all, you know? But it's really true. It's not just like a cute thing. It's really true. It's mamish true. This is the thing. So I'm just blessing us for this Shavuos. Like I heard from Mindy Ribner. Mindy, Heilige Mindy. I've been talking to her a little bit in Florida. She says, I'm blessing you with some holy silence on Shavuos. Right? I'm blessing you with some holy silence on Shavuos to just receive, katar, to wait, to have that, the waiting that we've built up over these last 49 days, over the forever, and not even just this past Sphira, but everything, that there is, Shamayim is opening up, there is Torah being given to us. Sometimes we're just too quick to even notice it. We shut Hashem up and tell him how it should be before he even has a chance to tell us anything. Right? So as Hashem, we should be blessed with that holy silence, to hear she's telling us his own chisaron and the Gevald, have such simcha. Real simcha. Chaim, good yante. Happy birthday. Questions and thoughts? Yeah.
Can we get a blessing?
Mendele. Vade. Chaim, first of all. Chaim. And we'll just stop the recording.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Shlomo. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, we should be blessed. I'm blessing you. Hashem should bless you and me. If someone would say that, Hashem should bless you and me. Why? Because I'm not erasing myself, and I'm giving the bracha, right? The same idea about Chatzi HaMalchus. Hashem should bless all of us with this mastery, this mystery of seizing the day and waiting, listening, loving, self-forgiveness, presence, respecting boundaries. Hashem to bless us to receive, kimu v'kiblu. Bless us with not knowing, within the knowing. Hashem to bless us with that amazing joy of hearing his chisaron. Wow. Really, really deeply. Bless us with the dance in the barn. Chaim. Gewalt.
Everybody's invited on Monday night.
Oh yeah, next week. Next week there won't be a regular shir here.
Yeah.
There's a special thing happening in the old city. Did you guys see the flyer?
Yeah.
And there's a special rooftop scribal. There's gonna be this very special scribe. Kalman is gonna teach you how to write letters mamish on a cloth, and so that the letters of Shavuos can land. We'll also learn. I'll also give over a little bit there. It'll be Purim related as always, and Shevach will be there, and we'll be doing some other art type projects, and it'll be a great way to integrate Shavuos. So, but we need to register because there's only so many people that can fit on the rooftop. So chaperayim, yeah. Tovi, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem.
How are you? Amen. Thank you so much.
So good to be with you and everybody.
So good. Thank you for coming. Yofi, thank you. You too. Okay, Laila Tov, I gotta get back to Beit Shemesh. Kol Tov.